Hello, all of you wayward spirits. My name is Liz Ashley, and I am so obsessed with supernatural that I decided to do some research Winchester style on anything and everything mentioned in the show. And though the show has sadly ended, this podcast is going to keep the family together. So, what do you say? Do you want to join me on the hunt? Hello, and welcome to episode 36 of a Wayward Spirit Pod, where we are diving deeper into the lore on Metatron. So today we are going to be watching the episode The Escapist and season 8, episode 21. And I picked this episode instead of Metafiction because this is where we meet Metatron, but now I'm kind of second guessing myself because like this episode is the first time we meet him. So I was like, oh, that'd be cool. But now I'm second guessing that decision. Oh well. Let's get into the episode anyway. Kevin! I love Kevin. I love Kevin, and I love that he has like sigils everywhere. Also, is this the episode with the fake Sam and Dean like tricking him? I don't remember.
We're gonna drive out and make a lot of noise a long way from here.
Yeah, this isn't them. This is the episode that it's fake them that comes to see Kevin. I remember this. Okay. Yeah, that's not them. Yep, I knew it was this one. I knew it.
Cure all kitchen sink stew.
Aw, this is when Sam was going through the trials. And this is the real Sam and Dean. Okay.
I'm dead. I'm dead, you bastards!
I just think that's so funny because don't get me wrong. I love Sam and Dean. You know I love Sam and Dean and I love Supernatural and I love everybody. But I do think it's funny that like all these people help them and then they all die. And he's like, I'm dead. Oh my gosh.
All right, well, if you talk to Garth, we'll just have him call in.
Garth!
Garth's still MIA?
We all know what happened to Garth. Okay, sorry. Cass. He looks so cute.
Taste.
Yeah.
He looks so cute. Oh my gosh, Misha.
You know, I remember when you first discovered it.
Oh my gosh, Cass. I remember when you first discovered it, when you first discovered coffee. Oh, this is so funny. Cass is just the cutest and I just can't get over it. And I haven't watched something in season 8 in a while. I think. I don't know anymore. And Cass is just so funny and he's just so matter of fact and he just doesn't get that it doesn't make sense to humans. And I love it. It makes me so happy. Uh-oh.
We're getting closer. The guy just disappeared. It's their sameness. Cassiel is using it against us. So he chooses.
St. Louis! Oh, it's in St. Louis, Missouri. That's where I am. That's my hometown. I just love that Supernatural references it sometimes. It makes me very happy. Okay, sorry. They were showing a picture of Misha and the Biggertons, and it said St. Louis, Missouri, and that just made me really happy. Yes. But I think Castiel is like so smart. Although again, I'm regretting my decision on this episode because so far I don't see Metatron and I don't know when he comes in. Maybe I should have picked Metafiction. Well, we might change it if it keeps going like this. Okay. Here we go. Okay, he's gonna find Metatron's he's gonna find Metatron's symbol or sigil or whatever. And I know, sorry, I didn't mean to spoil it, but I was just excited that we're finally gonna talk about Metatron.
This symbol? I know it. Now, Kevin has it down as sort of like a signature for the scribe of God.
The scribe of God, it's Metatron.
I think I've seen it before. I mean, it was a long time ago. It was one of my humanities courses at Stanford.
They taught Word of God at Stanford.
Hey, I had to take Christian classes at my college. Well, I went to a college that was like Christian based, so that was my own doing. But I had to take Bible classes, and my major had nothing to do with religion.
Her closest translation, messenger of God.
Messenger of God, kind of like scribe of God, but we are going to talk about how he's the messenger of God in the lore section. All right.
Messenger of God. Messenger of God. Then we have to go there.
I just love that so much because Sam is like so obviously like it's the messenger of God. Like it's he's so excited, and Dean is just kind of like, what? Like what are you talking about? Oh my gosh, okay. I don't regret picking this episode anymore. This is great. We're doing great. Okay.
You have to stop.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh my gosh. I know I talked about this last time, but like, and I did talk about this in the last episode, how like we always see angels like in life as these like perfect beings, or we've always had this like, I think when we think of angels, we think of like cherubs, like cupids, like the cute little cupids are like angels. But in the Bible and like, of course, in Supernatural, they're really not all that nice. They're not. And like, I think it's great that they're showing this, but this is quite terrifying. Okay. This picture of her face is quite terrifying. They made it to the Two Rivers Casino in Colorado. I'm going to go to Colorado so bad. Ugh, I do. It looks like such a beautiful place, and I've always wanted to go. One day, one day.
Supposed to be their shepherds.
Right.
Murderers.
Say it, Castiel. Say it. I'm telling you. Oh, I love Cass. Yes. Thank you.
Not always. It was that day back in Egypt, not so long ago, where we slew every firstborn infant whose door wasn't splashed with lamb's blood.
I can't. I can't. I can't. I can't. This. I can't. I can't. Girl. This is why I can't with the Bible. Like, what? Why? No, don't kill a lamb and then kill people who don't kill lambs. Like, what? This just makes no sense. Like, did this really happen in the Bible? I'm gonna look it up. We're gonna look it up because I'm quite curious. Okay, I know this has nothing to do with Metatron. I'm just having some fun. Okay, did the angels really kill those who did not smear lamb's blood on their door in the Bible? That is a very long question. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is real. This is really in the Bible. What? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is real. Oh, okay. Wait. Oh, my computer's taking forever to load. Okay. Jesus told Moses how to save the Israelite children. He said each Israelite father should get a lamb. The lamb must have nothing wrong with it. Okay. Moses told the Israelites to kill the lambs. They obeyed him. They put the lamb's blood on their doors. The sickness would pass over the houses with blood on their doors. If there was no blood on the door, the oldest child would die. I mean, okay. See, this is why. Oh, okay. So, oh, I hate that. I hate that. Like, why? Okay. Uh, sorry. I don't want to turn people off about telling my views. And This just really bothers me because I'm just kind of like, why is something that is supposed to be promoting like happiness and like, be nice to thy neighbor and stuff like that, killing freaking lambs and then telling people if they don't kill the lambs, then they'll kill their children. Like, what? Oh my gosh, this really happened. Well, there's a little bit of lore in between the episode for everyone. Extra lore. I can't believe that's really in the Bible. I didn't know that. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, now we're back to the fake Sam and Dean with Kevin.
Guy says there's a good little place on the other side of town.
Yeah, see? If they were the real Sam and Dean, they would know that Garth is MIA because they just said Garth is MIA. And Garth is MIA. Well, we all know why Garth is MIA. If you don't, I guess I'm assuming, but yes.
I'm gonna follow the hotel manager, Dr. Scowly Scowl. He's like a villain from Scooby-Doo. No.
The people of the Two Rivers.
Oh my gosh. Poor Sam. He's out of it. Oh my gosh, poor Sam. That was funny though.
He claimed that this is the home on earth of the Great Spirit's sacred messenger, and that if they'd made offerings, their blessings would be many.
What did the Great Spirit's sacred messenger ask for?
Stories.
Of course, Metatron asked for stories. Of course.
People to tell him stories.
Oh, that guy, the guy that Sam said looked like a Scooby-Doo villain, was in a picture from like forever ago in the museum. The blessings were living forever, I'm guessing. Oh my goodness, where is Sam going? Sam, where are you going? Oh my gosh. Now he's looking through packages. I'm really not sure what he's doing. Stories, Oliver Twist. Oh, it's Metatron. Yes. I'm sorry. He just looks so funny. I just paused it. I just paused it on a really funny. He just looks so funny. Oh my gosh, it's almost as bad as the wig he wore in season 15. It's just really, really funny. Also, if you guys have seen the Stan's patch, I bought that one where it says Sam's hair deserved better. It did. It deserved way better. But I bought a lot of the patches. They were great. They were great. Okay, I haven't gotten them yet, but I'm excited to get them. Okay. What is Crowley doing saving Cass?
Miss me.
I miss you all the time, Crowley. I miss you all the time. Yay! I love Metatron. I know everybody hates Metatron. I get it. I think he's hilarious. That's just my personal opinion.
I can show you. Books, hardcovers, paperbacks.
Stories. He was exchanging stories. The manager is exchanging stories so he can live forever. He just has to get him stories. Yes. Honestly, that's a pretty good deal. Like, he just has to buy him books. Like, that's not a bad deal. Although, do we really trust Metatron? That's debatable.
I had my R&D people melt down one of your angel blades. Cast it into bullets.
Ooh, that is smart. I forgot about that. How come the Winchesters didn't think of that? That is smart. That's some ingenuity there, Crowley. Good for you. I forgot about all of this. Excuse you, Crowley. Excuse you. No. What? He just shot Cass. What? I don't remember any of this.
You guys are right. I do need the other half of the tablet to get the drop. It's not too far from here.
It's a trap. He knows y'all are not them.
I will never tell you where I buried the tablet.
That's what he wants. He wants the angel tablet. Duh. Because that's what those two guys are trying to get from Kevin. Okay. Duh. I forgot about all of this. Ew. Oh my gosh. It was inside of Cass. I do not remember any of this. Oh my gosh. Cass. No. That is gross though. It was like inside of his stomach. That was okay. It was a little gross. He knew it. You guys, look, it would take someone who like they do not know Sam and Dean well enough to do that. Like, yeah, no, they were not convincing at all. 366, that's the number. Okay, I'm gonna do another piece of lore in the middle, sorry. Okay, so I'm gonna look up I'm really into numerology, so I always, like, if I see repeating numbers, I always look them up. So let's see, 366 meaning. Oh, it's in the Bible. So it says, standing before the throne and before the Lamb signifies hearing the Lord and doing what he commands by standing before God. So I guess that's what 366 means in there, in the Bible. Okay, well, I mean, that would make sense for Metatron. Let's see what it means, like, numerology-wise. It warns you about the repercussions of being unkind to yourself. This angel number wants you to stand your ground. Okay. I don't know if that really translates to Metatron. I like to look up numbers though. It makes me happy. Okay, well, that's what that means. And that's what was Metatron's apartment number. All right, in case you were curious like me. Oh my gosh, he has so many books. I wish I could read that many books. I'm trying to freaking get through one right now. It's like a maze of books. Oh! Uh-oh! Here is Metatron! Only he's pointing a gun at them, which, okay. But I think Metatron's hilarious. Like, yes, I get he's a villain, and no, I don't like that he's a villain, but he's hilarious. Just like I love Chuck. Is he a villain? Yes. Do I still love him because I think he's funny? Yes. Yay, we finally meet Metatron. Maybe I should have picked Metafiction. This is a good episode though, and I forgot about a lot of the stuff that happens in this episode, so I'm happy I'm watching it.
Who are you?
Oh, this is my favorite part. This is my favorite part of the whole episode, and I initially forgot that this was in this episode until I posted about it the other day. Oh, it's so funny.
This is Metatron?
This is Metatron. This is Metatron.
You work for Michael? Or Lucifer?
Wait, you really haven't heard of us? What kind of angel are you? We're the friggin' Winchesters.
I love that line because it's just so blatant. He's just like he doesn't even think about it, because I think Sam normally like might have not said that, but like him now, like he's like, wait, what kind of angel are you? Like, we're the freaking Winchesters. We've saved the world. Like, what do you mean, who are we? Yes, Sam. Yes. Ha! That is my favorite picture of Kevin, and it always reminds me of that meme where he's like, you know, he was in advanced placement and then he's sitting there just like waiting for Crowley. Like, that is what Supernatural did to him. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. I guess I forgot that part was in this episode. This is a great episode. I feel like it's very underrated.
So, my demons were too polite. Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Michael and Lucifer, those dudes are in the deep fryer.
Yeah, we put them there ourselves.
Sam just keeps going. I He said, yeah, we put them there ourselves. Like that, we did that. But I will say this is why I don't hate Metatron, because I don't think he was that bad in the beginning. Like, I think he turned evil. I don't really know when the flip switched, but like right now, he just didn't even want to be a part of any of it, you know? And so, like, in the beginning, I don't think he was that bad. I think he let the power he had trying to be God, taint him, which, may I remind you, Cass also did. And so did the actual God. The only good God so far is, well, I'm not going to say it, but if you know the ending of Supernatural, then that's the only one.
I'm not one of them. I'm not an archangel. Really more run-of-the-mill before God chose me to take down the word.
So I guess he's basically saying he wrote the Bible, which, yeah, I don't know enough about the Bible to comment on that. Okay.
The archangels decided they'd take over the universe themselves, but they couldn't do anything that big without the word of God.
So he became a recluse, basically.
Really, it was your storytelling.
Yeah, that's basically what our world and our society is storytelling. Like, we're all telling a story about our lives. We watch television shows that tell stories. We watch movies that tell stories. But yeah, I feel like, even me on like YouTube telling a story, like we all are just like telling the story of our lives or finding a way to tell the story of our lives. Yeah, I think that's what makes society. Okay.
That is the true flower of free will.
Yeah, and I think it's what makes us like human. We want to be storytellers and we want to listen to stories. Yeah, okay.
When you create stories, you become gods.
Yeah, that's probably why we like creating stories so much and creating like universes and like tribes and you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Of tiny, intricate dimensions unto themselves.
I love this explanation. Like, sorry I keep pausing it, but like, I love this monologue right now. Like, this is really speaking to me.
How much suffering have you read over? Humanity's suffering. And how much of it has been at the hands of your kind?
Oh, it's true though. So I can't really fault him for being mad at him because it's true.
You want a story? Try Kevin Trans. Now, you should have been looking out for him, but no. Instead, you're here, holed up, reading books.
He's dead now. Because of you.
Ooh, Metatron's coming to save Kevin. I guess what Sam said really did get to him. Okay. Oh my gosh. Crowley looks so funny. He's like rolling around the ground, like burning of something. Of I guess Metatron. Metatron's like burning him. Just like his presence. Okay, I'm gonna stop pausing now. Yay! Metatron saved Kevin.
How did you get past Crowley's angel warding?
I'm the scribe of God. I erased it.
That is cool. AF. I'm like, look, I get it. Like nobody likes Metatron, but you got to admit that's pretty boss. Pretty boss. Just saying.
Kevin, thought we lost you, kiddo.
Oh, that's so sweet. Also, I love that he just called him that. My dad calls me kiddo, so that really just, touches on a heartstring of mine.
Who are you?
Who are you? He doesn't even tell them. He just gives them this creepy look. Like, what? He doesn't even say his name. He just gives Kevin this creepy look. Okay, I get it. Metatron is creepy. Okay, I get it. I still think he's a funny character. All right. Well, that is it for the episode. I really enjoyed watching that episode. I was worried I was going to regret it at first because I was like, I think Metatron's only in the end. But it was actually really great. I think it's such an underrated episode. It has it has like a lot of classic lines in it that I totally forgot and iconic scenes. So yeah, that was fun. Well, all right. Now we are going to talk about the real life lore on Metatron. Let's go. All right. So let's talk about the lore on Metatron. So, again, like many different lore and stuff like that, it's different in every religion. Metatron's different in every religion. And I actually read like a whole blog. It was like a Christian blog about how some Christians actually don't even believe that Metatron existed and they doubt his existence. So I thought that was interesting because I never knew that. So fun little fact. So like we talked about in the episode with the podcast about everything, so basically there are different interpretations of Metatron and who he could be and what he could be. He also has different names. So in the book of Enoch, he was Enoch, and he actually, so he can be identified as the prince or angel of the presence, so basically of the God, I'm assuming, or of God. And it says he can also be considered Michael the archangel, which that was surprising. I was like, oh. And it says, or as Enoch after he like ascended to heaven. So I think that's really interesting because I didn't catch it like when we were watching the episode, but Metatron in the episode said he was like, and then God picked me. And yeah, he was still kind of like he was still an angel in supernatural, and in the book of Enoch he was like a human, and then God picked him and he ascended. But I do think it's funny that he still picked him in supernatural and he still kind of ascended, like he was the scribe of God at that point, you know. And so I just thought that was funny. I didn't pick up on that until I just read this. But he is commonly described as the scribe, and he recorded the sins and the good deed of humans. And he was the guardian of heavenly secrets, and he was God's mediator with men. And he was also called the lesser Yahweh, and Yahweh is another name for God. And so basically, and he was also known as one whose name is like that of his master. So I feel like that makes a lot of sense because God picked him. And even later when they revealed that Chuck is God and everything, like Metatron even says, like, he calls Chuck his bestie, and Chuck was like, well, I don't know about that, but and so I do think that's funny because I feel like him picking Metatron and then him having him write everything and being the one who handles all of these things is very like, that does seem like it would be someone you'd be really close to, and who, you know, kind of was like the master almost, because he was just like a notch down because he wrote everything for him and everything like that. And so that makes a lot of sense. But Metatron is made up of two Greek words. It's they are after and throne. So when they're like put together, or like what it means together is one who serves behind the throne, or one who occupies the throne next to the throne of glory, which again makes a whole lot of sense when you look at who Metatron was and what he did. But so in this it says, according to some, he is the most powerful angel in heaven. And I think that's funny because in Supernatural, when he was talking about the archangels, he was saying, you know, he was just a scribe of God. But I do think he's a lot more powerful than he lets on, because he was also saying like, yeah, he would have to write it down if they wanted to rewrite anything. So like he does have the power kind of God, and maybe that's why he got so tempted to try to become God later, because like he does have that power and he is really powerful. So in Jewish, Christian, Islamic, and I think, I don't know if it's paganism, but I know like in Wicca and like stuff like that, people like have like altars to Metatron. And I didn't know that until I went into a store, and it was like it's like, you know, they sold like crystals and stuff like that. It was a metaphysical store, and they had like candles or incense that were used when you were like, you know, working with Metatron. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. but they also had one for the archangel Michael. So in the metaphysical realm, they are two different people. But in Jewish, Christian, Islamic, and like I said, like metaphysical traditions, Metatron is a high-ranking angel. So in most traditions and most religions, Metatron is acknowledged and is a high-ranking angel. And yeah, so in some religions, he was once a human, and then, you know, God came and got him, which is the Christian in the Book of Enoch. That's what they think, but not in Supernatural. But like, you know, like I said, according to the Christian writings, Metatron was once a human named Enoch, and he walked faithfully with God. But there is another version where Metatron was never human, nor did he come from Enoch. So that's probably where Supernatural was getting the storyline from, probably because the Book of Enoch is like redacted. And so even though they do reference the Book of Enoch sometimes, like they do like get some of the storylines, it is redacted, so that's probably why they went with the he was always an angel storyline, and I just think it makes more sense with Supernatural. because in the Book of Enoch, who was him before he became Metatron, the human him, he was taken to heaven by God without dying, and he was transformed into the angel Metatron, and he was placed next to a throne, next to God's throne, which again is what his name means, and he became second to God in terms of power, wisdom, and glory. So yeah, but then it says that all the other angels like obeyed him and listened to him, which is not true in Supernatural. I don't think listen to him or take him seriously, and I think that's probably why he became a villain. And so, you know, he was a heavenly scribe, and it says that, and like I said before, he was the mediator for people, again, which I think is really funny because he was supposed to be the mediator for people, but in Supernatural, he just like said, forget it, and just left humans to be what to be. And so I can get why Sam was mad, because like, you know, according to the lore and everything, like he was supposed to be the mediator between people and heaven and God, and he kind of just left them hanging in Supernatural. And so, like I said, some metaphysical practices, they acknowledge Metatron and that he's a powerful angel because they believe that he represents the capacity for ascension and our capacity to access spiritual power as human, which I think makes sense because, you know, if they're going off of he once was a human and then ascended to be an angel, then I get what they're saying. I get why they would, you know, use Metatron in their practice, because basically, you know, he represents spiritual ascension. And so yeah, I think that's really cool. Okay, so the funny thing is actually Metatron is not mentioned in the Torah or the Bible, like that, like it's not mentioned. It is mentioned in the Islamic tradition, and he is known as the angel of the veil, which I think makes sense. Like, you know, he kind of he wrote everything, he's of the veil, I guess. But yeah, so he's not even mentioned in the Bible, which is why some people question his existence. But Enoch is mentioned in the Bible, and so I do think it's kind of funny that he wasn't mentioned in the Bible or the Torah, yet for some reason we have this story or this lore on him, which is why I think it's hard for people to pinpoint whether they believe he was always an angel or whether he was a human who turned into angel, whether he was Enoch or the Archangel Michael. Like I think that's why it's such a confusing thing to pinpoint. But Genesis 5:18 through 24 tells tales of Enoch's life, and that's who most people believe, who believe that was Metatron before he became an angel. This is so funny. Okay, so this is like a passage in the Bible. Okay, it says when Jared That's why I think it's so funny, because it says Jared. Okay. When Jared had lived 162 years, he became the father of Enoch. After he became the father of Enoch, Jared lived 800 years and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Jared lived a total of 962 years, and then he died. When Enoch had lived 65 years, he became the father of Methuselah. After he became the father of Methuselah, Enoch walked faithfully with God 300 years and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Enoch lived a total of 365 years. Enoch walked faithfully with God, then he was no more, because God took him away. So, see how that's kind of like, it's confusing, because like, first of all, how are these people living this long? I didn't know people lived this long in the Bible. I'm telling you, I took those classes, but I never read the Bible when I took those classes. I really should have started this podcast then, because I probably would have gotten better grades. And I've said that so many times in this podcast. But anyway, why are they living so long? Also, it does say that, you know, he walked faithfully with God, then he was no more, because God took him away. And there's a notable difference, because when they were talking about his dad, they just said, oh, and he died. But when they're talking about Enoch, they say, oh, because God took him away. So like I get where the lore and the confusion starts, because, you know, there is a distinction between these passages. And so you wouldn't think that he just died. God like took him for some purpose, you know? Okay, so and then Hebrews 11:5. So this is what it says. By faith, Enoch was taken from this life so that he did not experience death. He could not be found because God had taken him away. For before he was taken, he was commended as one who pleased God. So that's all it really says, which again is interesting, because basically God didn't want him to experience death, because like he was so pleased with him. And but see, the thing is like I now I don't know if this is true, but I'm pretty sure these passages are from like the normal Bible that everyone reads. I don't know if they're they're from the book of Enoch, and I think the book of Enoch may have some more information, but I'm really not sure. So yeah. Okay, so I'm pretty sure those were from the regular Bible. But in Jude 14:15, there's a passage that actually like directly quotes from the book of Enoch, which shows that Jude, the brother of Jesus, considered the book of Enoch to be a sacred scripture, which I think is really funny, because they took it out, they redacted it. And I think that's really funny that like Jesus's brother, which I didn't even know Jesus had a brother, here we are. So I thought it was a sacred scripture, but they took it out. Okay, so something that does mention Metatron is actually I don't know how to say it. It's in the Sefer Hekkelot. Let me see if I can find this. Okay, I tried to look up how to pronounce him, but I'm not getting anything. So I think it's a Sefer Hekkelot. So the Sefer Hekkelot is also known as the Book of Places and as 3 Enoch. So I guess it's the 3rd book of Enoch. And it's and it stated that Metatron was the angel who helped the Jewish people survive in the desert after escaping Egypt. So he is mentioned in some, so see, like I said, he's mentioned in the book of Enoch. He's just not mentioned in the Bible that we know today. So I do think that that's interesting that people are questioning his existence, though he does exist in other writings. So that's interesting. That is actually really interesting. My hunch was right, and if it wasn't, please let me know. As you can see, I am learning the Bible as we go. Well, all right. Thank you so much to all of my fellow Wayward Spirits for joining me on this journey today. I had so much fun, and if you had fun and want to go on more hunts with me, make sure to subscribe to Wayward Spirit Pod wherever you listen to podcasts, or on Wayward Spirit Media here on YouTube and on Instagram at Wayward Spirit Media. I just changed the name. Wayward Spirit Pod is the same on Spotify and all the podcast websites, but for Instagram and for YouTube, it is Wayward Spirit Media, so go check that out. And if you want any extra content, like some more lore, check out my Patreon, Wayward Spirit. So I've been having trouble finding it when I just go into Patreon and search for it. So if you want to click the link down below, it is patreon.com/waywardspirit, and that will get you there. So if you want to learn more lore and stuff on like Bigfoot and Pandora's Box and Nessie, you can get the Wayward Lore Podcast, the exclusive Patreon Wayward Lore Podcast, for $1 a month. Yes, so go check that out. And I will see you all next week, and don't forget to stay spooky. Bye.